Hello, my friend, and welcome to Wisdom Trek. This is Guthrie Chamberlain, and I'm your guide to wisdom and creating a living legacy. Thank you for joining us for our 7-day-a-week, 7 Minutes of Wisdom podcast. This is day 322 of our trek. Yesterday, we stopped by the baseball fields and discovered 9 life lessons from baseball. It is such a beautiful spring day today that we will stay at the ball fields and explore what baseball can teach us about our finances. Thank you so much for coming along with me as we discovered that each event in our daily trek in life, whether it is small or large, is packed with wisdom and insight that we can learn and apply to our lives and expand our living legacy. These bits of wisdom will help us to live the rich and satisfying life which we were created for. While some of our daily treks are a multi-part series, you can join us at any time and start with us from that point on. If you'd like to listen to any of the past episodes, please go to wisdom-trek.com to listen to them and to read the daily journal. You can also subscribe to Wisdom Trek at iTunes, Spreaker, Stitcher, SoundCloud, and Google Play so that each day's trek will be downloaded to you automatically. We are broadcasting from our studios at the Big House in Marietta, Ohio. Late afternoon on Friday, we headed north once again for a little over 2 weeks. There's much work planned on and around the Big House as the weather is starting to warm up and the leaves on the trees are beginning to be released from their winter hibernation. While owning the old family homestead is rewarding and an integral part of our long-term legacy, it is a lot of responsibility and work. It also takes a lot of financial resources to maintain and renovate it. Paul and I are very serious when it comes to managing and controlling our financial foundation. While we have had our share of financial ebbs and flows during the past 37 years, we are always learning on how to control our financial position without it controlling us. Keeping with our focus from yesterday of learning life lessons from baseball, today we want to learn the 4 financial lessons from baseball. For many people, especially in the U.S., there is nothing like the start of the baseball season. Even though the season seems ceaselessly long, there is something about the anticipation of opening day of baseball games. It means that spring is right around the corner. Although I'm not a sports fanatic myself, one of the things I love about sports is the analogy to our trek of life. I think really any philosophy of life can be explained through a sports analogy. The importance of teamwork in winning games and getting things done successful in life. Doing the hard work behind the scenes will usually lead to good performance on the field and in your life or career. The analogies seem to be endless. There's probably no sport more open to analogies that we've used than baseball. After doing some thinking, there are a good number of analogies that can also apply to our personal finances. Even if you're not a huge sports fan, I think you'll be able to relate to these analogies. So let's start with lesson number 1. Good pitching is essential, but you need to score runs to win. Increasing your personal cash flow is a simple proposition. Increase the amount of money coming in and decrease the amount of money going out. Make more money and spend less of it. In baseball terms, this means that you must score more runs and don't let the other team score as many runs. Having a good set of pitchers and a good defensive play from your fielders will keep the opponent's runs to a minimum. But this alone is not going to win any championships. You need to put runs up on the board yourself and make up for inevitable mistakes of the defense. This means that having a budget and watching where your money goes is just not enough in itself. Sometimes we spend too much on food in a month. A car repair is needed. An impromptu vacation may be booked. Things fall through the cracks sometimes, so it is important to put a little extra effort into setting money aside as well. It can make up for the small mistakes that we make and keep our cash flow positive. In addition to saving money in an emergency fund, it is crucial that we build into our life multiple streams of income to guard against the slumps that will come in our lives. Putting in place a good but frugal spending plan is necessary, and it can put you in a great position financially. But to expand your resources, you also need to have some backup plans, just like baseball teams have backup players to fill in when they are needed. Lesson number 2. You're eventually going to swing and miss. You just have to learn from it. Legendary Boston Red Sox player Ted Williams famously said, "Baseball is the only field of endeavor where a man can succeed 3 times out of 10 and be considered a good performer." It is very true that a 30% hit rate is awesome in the baseball world, but it's just terrible everywhere else. Something useful can be gleaned from these words, though, which is failure is inevitable. You can literally plan for it. There's no one who has never made mistakes at some point when it comes to their finances. In our situation, it was business decisions that did not turn out well and impacted us in a major way financially. For you, it could be a poor mutual fund selection, higher than expected credit card bills, or home improvement projects that just won't stay under budget. Mistakes will be made. The important thing is to learn from them and to become wise financially. Also learn from the financial mistakes that others make and avoid those situations. Lesson number 3. Put your pitcher in the best position possible to win a matchup. One struggle that baseball managers have is to know when to replace the starting pitcher and go to the bullpen. Choosing the best relief pitcher can be tricky at times. Some pitchers are better at home, some are better at night, and some are terrible against certain hitters. All of these variables must be considered before choosing a pitcher that will give you the best chance to win. Personal finances are no different. Someone who has a lot of credit card debt and someone who has none should not be doing the same thing with their money. If you do have a lot of debt, you may need to get by with a smaller emergency fund for a while paying down your debt. If you have no debt, you can save up for a more comfortable emergency fund and invest some money as well. You may want to go in business for yourself, which can have some real tax benefits, or invest in some tax-deferred financial tools. Everyone's situation is different, and there is no answer that will solve everyone's issue. The best action is to analyze where you are and where you want to be and find an efficient way to get there. And then lesson number 4. The season is a marathon, not a sprint. A Major League Baseball team has to play 162 regular games during the season, and that's a whole lot of games. Players can get worn down, worn out, become injured, and team morale can take a hit. The important thing to do is to keep your goal in sight. While the goal of Major League Baseball teams is to win the World Series, it happens winning one game at a time. Once the game is over, whether you win or lose, you have to focus on winning the next game. And so it is with our finances. You win by decreasing your debt and increasing your savings $1 at a time. Yes, you do have to have financial goals in mind, but every decision to either spend or invest each dollar will determine how successful you are. Wise financial decisions are so crucial. If you're going to play ball, play to win. As you do become successful with your finances by making wise choices, you should keep in mind the words Paul wrote in his first letter to his apprentice Timothy in chapter 6, verses 17 through 19. Teach those who are rich in this world not to be proud, nor trust in their money, which is so unreliable. Their trust should be in God, who richly gives us all that we need for our enjoyment. Tell them to use their money to do good. They should be rich in good works and generous to those in need. Always be ready to share with others. By doing this, they will be storing up their treasures as a good foundation for the future so that they may experience true life. It has been an enjoyable 2 days at the ball field where we learned much about life and finances. Tomorrow we will hike the trail of a life well lived. So encourage your family and friends to join us and then come along with us tomorrow for another day of Wisdom Trek, Creating a Legacy. That will finish our trek for today. Just as you enjoy these daily doses of wisdom, we ask you to help us to grow Wisdom Trek by sharing it with your family and friends through email, Facebook, Twitter, or in person when you meet with them, and invite them to come along with us each day. The journal for today's trek is available at wisdom-trek.com. Thank you so much for allowing me to be your guide, your mentor, but most importantly, I am your friend, as I serve you through the Wisdom Trek podcast and journal each day. As we take this trek together, let us always live abundantly, love unconditionally, listen intentionally, learn continuously, lend to others generously, lead with integrity, and leave a living legacy each day. This is Guthrie Chamberlain reminding you to keep moving forward, enjoy your journey, and then create a great day every day. See you tomorrow.